Hi, I'm Irving. You have just entered Cartertopia. Well, the unheard of has finally happened. We put it off as long as we could, but I suppose it was inevitable.
You really need all this luggage? You're only going to be gone for 2 weeks.
Yes, I intend to make up for lost time. You know, California, here I come.
Diana Prince is going on vacation. Brace yourself, because for the next 2 weeks, we won't have any national security to speak of.
Santa Corona. What made you decide to go there?
Remember Leslie O'Neill? She worked downstairs as a supervisor in personnel.
Yeah, young, widowed, teenage daughter.
Yeah, well, Leslie took a job with the city of Santa Corona and wrote me saying that next time I needed a vacation, I should stop by, so...
Well, I thought you'd be going someplace really exciting like Hawaii or the Rockies or the Caribbean.
He really doesn't get it, does he?
The reason I'm going to Santa Corona, Steve, is that the worst thing that can happen there is that I run out of suntan lotion.
She gets all the excitement she needs working for you, Steve. This is downtime. On the boardwalk at said city, we're seeing a little bit of fancy skateboarding. That's Jamie. There's a preliminary skateboard competition tomorrow that she was going to blow off, but a friend of hers just convinced her to sign up. Jamie is played by Cindy Eilbacher, who is best known for a recurring role on The Young and the Restless. Opinions differ as to who's doing the actual stunts, and I know nothing about the skateboarding world, so I'm not about to weigh in on that. While that's going on, we meet the owner of the local beach club. Some guy is hassling him about his finances.
Just what do you want, Mr. Donaldson?
I thought that would be quite obvious, Mr. Ketchum. I want the beach club.
Oh, yes. So you can draw in customers for your gambling operations.
You have a magnificent flair for slander. I'd be careful with that if I were you. A man like you could get sued.
Donaldson is a local gangster who controls the gambling in the city. As you heard, he wants the beach club for a new front. And that sound you heard was two guys with sledgehammers beating up his daughter's car.
Be glad it's not your daughter.
We have 3 lines of story. Diana on vacation trying to get away from it all, Mr. Donaldson bringing it all to the town she's escaping to, and a young skateboarder who wants to enter a competition. How are we going to weave them together? Jamie and her friend head down to the video arcade to play a few games. Jamie seems really good at it and they're having fun, but something weird is going on. There's a person standing there with no butt. Wait, that's not it.
Jamie, check this out.
Brother, this place is getting too much.
Which is worse, a big hat or no butt? We have both. The place is definitely going downhill.
4 big ones, if you please, little lady.
That makes 5. I wonder if this place is losing money.
All right, kids, it's 7 o'clock. It's about time all you troublemakers went home.
Hey, you make plenty of money from us. How come you kick us out? The old manager used to let us stay as long as we wanted.
Oh, that's because the old manager had an IQ above moron level.
Well, there's the way to convince him to let you stay longer.
All right, what are you doing?
Oh, just checking to see if you leave a trail.
He kicks kids out at closing time even when they're in the middle of a game. This place has to be losing money. And by the way, the answer is yes, he does leave a trail. And for some reason, he hasn't kicked Cowboy Dude out. Yeah, there's a fully equipped gambling parlor back there, complete with slot machines, roulette wheel, card tables. I couldn't tell if there's a bar or not, but it wouldn't be surprising. And there's already at least 24 people there, so if he had to kick the gamers out to let the gamblers in, how'd they get there?
Oh, you have no idea how much I've been looking forward to this, to seeing you and Jamie, and to just plain relaxing on the beach.
Well, we're glad you finally decided to take us up on the invite.
Where is Jamie anyway?
She'll tell you herself in a moment.
Diana!
And there's the connection to Diana. She introduces her friend Kevin. We finally get to learn that he has a name besides Jamie's friend, and she tells her mom and Diana about entering the competition. Back at the arcade, Mr. Friedman, the manager, is talking with Donaldson about why the gambling take is so low.
There's not enough nightlife, let alone any day life for that matter.
Well, now, don't worry about that, because we have got Ketchum's Beach Club in our pocket. And what I'm interested in now is something on the order of a convention center.
You got something in mind?
I do have a thing or two in mind, Mr. Friedman. Yes, I do.
I'm sorry, you're revealing too much. Be more vague. Speaking of vague, it's time for something random to happen to somebody we don't know. There's a little excitement for you, Mr. Friedman, although if that's what you had in mind, you really are a terrible businessman. Diana saw it happen, but she's interrupted before she can go ask any questions.
Diana? Diana, how are you? I'm Skylar Markham.
Oh,
we worked in that case about a year ago in Los Angeles.
sure. Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. Couldn't be better. I'm off the police force, you know. Now I'm a freelance security consultant.
Translation, unemployed. Either that or he's working for Donaldson. Whatever the case, I'm not getting very good vibes from this guy. Neither is Diana. He blew off that attempted hit and run. If he's an ex-cop, his radar should be tingling and he should be asking lots of questions. They make a lunch date for the next day and he moves on. Diana still wants to know what just happened.
Someone better do something about the crazy drivers in this town before someone gets hurt.
If anyone can do something about it, you can. Frankly, your threats are getting tedious.
He owns all those storefronts and Donaldson wants to buy them for the land to build his convention center.
I intend to renovate them to preserve a part of Santa Corona's past.
An admirable goal, unless money is your god, as is the case with Donaldson. He gives Mr. Key several veiled warnings about accidents and then leaves.
Do you know the gray building in the middle of the storefronts that are so dear to his heart?
It's a real fire hazard, that building.
Well, perhaps Mr. Key will reconsider my offer once that property is beyond renovation.
You don't need a bat computer to sort that one out. He said the gray building. That one's beige. Make it a point to learn your colors soon. She can make sure Donaldson's plane goes up in, not smoke. The police can't figure out who started the fire, and Donaldson's men can't figure out who put it out. But one of them has a suspect.
We seem to have a problem. Her name is Diana Prince.
Is anybody surprised? He says, I don't know if she's here investigating our operation or if she really is on vacation. I'll find out more tomorrow when I have lunch with her. If there's anything suspicious, we can eliminate her. If he's worked with her before, he should know she is incredibly difficult to eliminate. By the way, whatever became of Cowboy Dude?
Mr. Marcy, I'm afraid that your credit has just reached its limits. It's going to have to be your last round.
Hey, man, I'm not doing that bad.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. If this was a hospital instead of a casino, you'd have just died at the operating table.
Friedman has to call the bouncer to escort him out because he insists he can have the money wired from his bank in Texas, and besides, he has a system. Sir, they build these casinos off people like you who have a system. There's a reason why they have all that money and trappings and you don't.
That was a terrific lunch, Sky. Thank you.
Good. You know, you can show your gratitude by telling me what you're really doing here in Santa Corona.
I told you before, it's just a vacation.
Oh, sure. I suppose you were seduced by our travel brochures. Leisure capital of the West.
Well, actually, I have a couple of friends here, and I thought it would be a perfect place to have a nice, quiet vacation.
She says, but I may have to find a plan B with all the weird stuff happening around here, like attempted murder, attempted arson. I came here to get away from that stuff.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
What?
I'll use all the pull I have to make sure that the rest of your stay is as boring as possible.
I don't know about boring. How about just uneventful?
Done.
Like a good bad guy, he doesn't believe her. As usual, he thinks everybody else is as phony as he is. Our cowboy friend has a serious gambling problem. Observe.
Hey, you're pretty good at that, little lady. Almost maybe good enough to give me a run for my money. How about trying a game, say, penny a point?
Oh, why don't you make it $1 a point and I'll give you a break? I won't make you pay up.
You're pretty cocky, aren't you, little lady? All right, let's try.
He's trying to hustle a teenage girl with a video game. Get this man therapy, stat. If you've watched any of my old game reviews, you know how bad I am at video games. This guy makes me look like the Grand Master. And she makes me look as bad as I really am. He would have owed her close to $8,000. He says, you must have some kind of system. You can hear his wheels turning, and not in a good direction for Jamie.
For Pete's sakes, I just memorize the speed of the ships, calculate the time it takes for a torpedo to intercept, we'll take into account the speed of the torpedo and the drift of the sea mines and fire. That's all.
He understood for Pete's sake, and I just. Everything after that was foghorn. He starts asking her about the game's stats and realizes she has a photographic memory, or eidetic memory as we call it today. Then he starts babbling, or so it seems.
You know something, sweetheart? You remind me so much of my daughter.
Dollars to donuts, he doesn't even have a daughter.
Poor thing.
Well, thanks a lot.
What I mean to say is, well, she's in for some hard times unless I could... Well, hey, maybe you with that memory of yours could... Maybe you could...
Help me finish a sentence?
Nah.
He still hasn't come out and said what he wants her to do, but she hesitantly agrees and goes with him.
I hate to admit it, Evan, but that girl's here on assignment. I'd stake my reputation on it.
In that case, I think we better arrange a permanent vacation for the lady as soon as possible.
As I said, Sky thinks everybody is as shady as he is. Diana has finally found a few moments of peace.
Hi. Hi. Now tell the truth. Wouldn't you rather be out splashing around in the blue Pacific than sitting here with a dull, dry book?
Well, no. Not really.
Sure she would. Come on, Jen. Let's help the little lady save herself.
Hey, no way, it's like my glasses.
Go with the flow, baby.
I'm not so sure about this. They take her way into the surf.
Listen, a joke's a joke, but aren't we getting in a little deep?
Not as deep as we're going to get, lady.
They always underestimate her. If they checked her out at all, they know what she can do and how resilient she is. And they always underestimate her. She slips between a couple of portable cabanas and transforms. Really? Well, you can't say you didn't ask for it. At least you had a soft landing. Good thing he stopped when he did, because the next surfboard would have gone in his ear.
Who told you to kill Diana Prince?
Donaldson. Evan Donaldson.
Why?
Don't know. You don't ask questions.
She files a police complaint against the two men for attempted murder, then meets with Mr. Key. They agree that Donaldson is behind all this.
Donaldson is an elusive and dangerous man. His threats are implicit, his actions anonymous. There are rumors that he has all sorts of illegal gambling operations around town, but so far we haven't a shred of hard evidence against him.
He says, if we don't stop this and find a way to track down some of his illegal gambling operations, Donaldson will turn this town into a pit of corruption. He begs for her help. Since she's already a target, she may as well.
Well, so much for this vacation. Maybe I can call my boss at the IDC and he can give us a little information on Mr. Donaldson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It wasn't a very good book anyway.
The object of blackjack is to get as close to 21 points without exceeding it. Kings, queens, jacks, and tens all count for 10 points. All of the cards are face value, except for the ace.
Ooh, you sure do have one heck of a memory, gal. We should get that money back in no time at all.
He plans to disguise her to look old enough and sneak her into the gambling parlor so she can count cards at the blackjack table and make a killing. Now, in an actual casino, if you get caught counting cards, it can get you a fine and kicked out of the place. In an illegal den, all it can do is get you killed. But this guy is so far up his own odds sheet, he's not thinking about anything but dollar signs.
If these guys really are crooks who gypped you out of your daughter's trust fund...
Cross my heart.
Well, then I guess it's okay to hustle the money back. But I have to be home by 11 or my mom will have a fit.
Don't you worry your pretty little head about that, honey. 2 hours should just about be all it should take.
That's the story he went with, and she bought it. Well, she's a kid. He needs to spend some time staring at vertical steel bars. Steve is giving Diana the info on Donaldson. He's done this before in other cities. He buys up certain types of businesses and uses them as fronts for his illegal operations.
Any idea what Donaldson's next move will be?
Well, seeing as he's already gained control of an arcade, a nightclub, and a dinner theater, Ira believes he'll try for some kind of recreation center to draw a wealthy clientele.
Well, there's the Santa Corona Beach Club. It's not doing too well. Howard Ketchum might be persuaded to sell out to him.
That's our lead then, Steve. Thanks for the information.
If she gets the chance, a package from Mr. Key arrives.
What's that?
Well, some books I ordered from back east. I thought they'd never get here.
Hold it. That was a private delivery service, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, then why is there postage on this package? Let's get out of here.
I didn't do that. That's actually how it's edited. I don't know if there was originally a commercial break or what, but I'm definitely not taking credit for that. To protect her friends, Diana has to move out of Nancy's house. That means she's a step removed from what's happening with Jamie, which is not good. We already saw Donaldson intimidating Mr. Ketchum, and one of his men is in Mr. Ketchum's office right now with the paperwork.
My name, Mr. Ketchum, is Diana Prince. I'm with the IADC.
I said no interruptions.
Diana knows there's something wrong, so she transforms and uses a different entrance.
Afternoon, Mr. Ketchum. Diana Prince had a little trouble reaching you, so she asked me to keep her appointment.
Donaldson's goon slipped out when they heard the noise on the terrace. Now he's slipping back in. She just crushed your metal gun with one hand. You think a wooden chair is going to do any better?
You, I take it, work for Donaldson.
She grabs me, Ketchum, your family's dead.
Ketchum pretty well forces her to let him go. He says if I don't go along, my wife and daughter are in danger. All she has to do is put the lasso on him and make him forget she was there, and there's no problem. But she won't think of that. Elsewhere, Jamie is in costume and Duane is ready to take advantage of her brain.
Now remember, all you got to do is remember what cards are still left in the deck, and then compute the odds on whether or not I should take another card, okay?
Well, I understand. But what are we doing here?
Watch.
He shows her the secret door and she's instantly enthralled. But inside, she gets her first hint that Duane may not be playing totally straight with her.
There you go, Mr. Friedman. That ought to cover that little debt I owe you.
His bank works quick.
So it does. Well, enjoy your evening. I hope you have a little better luck, huh?
Thank you.
Where did you get the money?
Out of my loan shark. 200% interest, but it's all going to be worth it because tonight I'm going to win it all back and then some.
Or not. He's making a fundamental mistake drawing attention to himself. The best way to do this would be to lie low, make small bets, and whittle away at it gradually. The worst way is to make a lot of noise and basically let them know you're there to cheat them. This is what you brought her here for, genius. Now you're questioning her on the first hand?
Hit me. read that.
Question her again, Hat Boy. She's ready to leave, but she's getting another hint.
Leave now? We just got here. Look, just a couple of more hands. See, I want to see the look on Friedman's face when I break his back.
More likely, he'll be watching your expression as his goons break your face when he catches you cheating. Donaldson is asking why Diana Prince is still alive. Sky is explaining that she's a very good agent, more than a match for any of his goons.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps someone should do the job that she trusts.
Wait a minute, Evan. When I took this job, you didn't say anything about murder.
Well, that was just an oversight of my part, that's all.
He gives Sky a gun and says, "You're my security guy. Secure me."
I'm sitting this one out. I have to go to the ladies' room.
Oh, sure, honey. You go ahead.
Just don't bet more than $100 while I'm gone.
Hey, don't worry about me now. I'm an old hand at this. I know what I'm doing.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, my man. What do you say we do it the way we do it in Texas? Double or nothing.
There's somebody who might know her hanging out by the ladies' room, so she ducks into another room to wait until he moves.
You take a look at her, Doctor, you realize that she's deep in debt.
That map shows where all his secret casinos are, and she just memorized it. Neither man got a good look at her, so she heads back to Duane to wrap things up and get out of there.
What happened? Where are all your winnings?
It's not as bad as it looks. Still got a few chips left, and we can build up again what we lost. It won't take that long.
It's after midnight. I'm not gonna stay here for another 5 hours. Duane, how could you do this? What are you gonna tell your daughter?
What daughter?
The light comes on and Jamie is out of there, after a few choice words for Duane.
That's the girl that was in the office.
She came with that hick, Morrissey.
That means the rhinestone cowboy won't leave until we find out where she lives. Go.
Hopefully the hick doesn't know where she lives, but you know he'll tell them everything he does know about her, including her eidetic memory. And as dumb as he is, he'll probably tell him he was using her to cheat at blackjack, too. Sky calls Diana at 1 a.m. and insists he has to come over and talk to her. No sooner is she dressed than there's a knock at the door.
Jamie, what are you doing here? Come on in. What's that dress you're wearing anyway? Where have you been?
Oh, would you believe watching this guy play blackjack for 5.5 hours?
Sky is a little shorter than she remembered. Jamie explains everything. Diana says, "We're off to the police station."
Oh, Sky, hey, I'm sorry I forgot. Listen, we'll have to make that meeting some other time, okay?
Why? What's up?
Well, I think we have the evidence we need to convict Evan Donaldson.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a casino in the rear of the arcade.
As quick as they're gone, he's on Diana's phone calling Donaldson. Soon, Friedman finds himself facing a search warrant. Donaldson has found out about the skateboarding contest and tells his men to grab Jamie right after it's done, and Sky had better finish the job on Diana this time. Diana knows Jamie is telling the truth. The question is, how did Donaldson and Friedman know what they were going to do?
Maybe he bribed the judge who gave us the warrant. I wouldn't put anything past him. Yes, Miss Steele?
Skylar Markham calling from Miss Prince.
It's for you. Skylar Markham?
Of course. Oh, Diana, how could you be so dumb?
She explains. Key says, "Do you want to talk to him?" You bet your magic lasso she does.
I knew you were a criminal, but a peeping Tom, too?
He tells her about the plan to kidnap Jamie, so she'll have to make tracks to the skate park. But she needs to secure him first.
All right, stick your hands through.
That'll do. Jamie won, and Donaldson's goon is posing as a local paper photographer to lure her out to the parking lot.
Good job. So what would you like me to do? Handstands, Christie's, whatever you like.
No, I'd like you to step right into this car.
That's the problem with sending Friedman. She recognizes him. There's very little room to maneuver, plus there's two of them and one of her. She can't get away.
You're not gonna believe this, but there's some broad on a skateboard coming after us. And she's gaining.
You guys might want to watch the traffic. I told you to watch the traffic. It can ruin your whole day.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Wow, they ought to give you an award, Wonder Woman.
No, the real award goes to whoever made those skateboard wheels. How long can yours last at 60 miles an hour on open asphalt? Donaldson is going away on who knows how many charges. Sky, too, is going to have lots of time to ponder his life choices. Jamie has a nice big trophy and gets to go to San Francisco for the next level of the competition. And Diana?
I hope everyone likes anchovies and pepperoni.
I love anchovies.
Diana. I can't watch.
She finally has time to annoy her friends, and maybe even finish that book. I'm Irving, and you are now exiting Cartertopia.